Hi friends, it is Crystal from Homemaking on the Homestead, and it is a rainy Saturday and I'm going to spend it in the kitchen. I have some leftovers and I have some hamburger, and I'm going to turn all of this into different meals and process it. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that. The 5 pounds of hamburger I'm going to turn into a couple pounds worth at least of hamburger patties, which are going to be feta cheese patties, and I'll add some onion to it. We had a rotisserie chicken the other day and we ate 2 meals from this so far. The first meal was just the chicken by itself, and the second meal I put it with a little bit of kielbasa sausage, potatoes, cheese, cream and mushroom soup, and made it into a casserole. Well, we ate that for a couple nights and I still have some left over, and probably not enough to make a full meal out of that, and plus, you know, after a couple nights we're getting a little tired of it, so I'm going to do something different with that. We barbecued some steak last night and corn on the cob, and I'm going to either just have that again tonight or figure out something. I haven't quite figured out what I'm going to do with that, but I'll show you as I go along. And I'm going to turn this leftover chicken in my Instant Pot into chicken stock, and then I'll remove the meat from it, and I'll probably save the meat for another meal. So come along with me and I will show you how I do all this. Burgers all mixed together and divided into 6 pieces because I'm going to make 6 burgers out of these 2 pounds, and I'm going to show you now how I do that. They're ready for the freezer now, and the parchment paper in between helps keep them separated. After they've frozen, they're easy to take as many or as few as I want. I decided to use my steak to make fajitas. I had some mini peppers that were kind of getting a little bit pathetic looking, so I decided to wash those up. I'm going to slice those. I'm going to use the other half of the onion, and I will saute those, throw the steak in at the last minute, and heat everything up and serve that in tortillas. But for right now, I am going to kind of let the marinate the steak, even though I had marinated it, so it doesn't need any salt and pepper or anything like that. But I'm going to throw in some lime juice and a little bit of cumin, there we go, and some chili powder. And I found this carne asada seasoning in my cupboard, so I'm going to try and probably just throw a little bit of that in there. And I'll let that sit until about dinner time, and we're going to have those for dinner tonight. I should also mention that I am not using a recipe. I'm just kind of winging it here. And I'm sure it'll be just fine. Finally, now tonight I'm going to work on my steak fajitas. I have my frying pan heated up, and I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil. Normally I use avocado oil or something like that, but I don't have any right now, and I wanted to use up that first. So we're going to do that and add the peppers and the onion. Now that my peppers and onions have gotten soft, I'm going to go ahead and add in my steak that I sliced up real thin. And there you go. I'll be using this to fill flour tortillas, and I have a little bit of cheese and sour cream to put on them as well. And that will be tonight's dinner. My chicken stock is done, and it turned out really, really nice, it looks like. Anyway, now I am going to strain it out. I'm going to let the chicken cool for a little bit, and then I will remove that from the bone. I'm probably going to set that aside to use in another recipe. Maybe I'll even put it in the freezer. Haven't decided exactly how I'm going to do that. I am going to use some of this broth here to make potato soup with the leftover potato casserole. So this is what I have left, and I'm going to use that, and I'm going to wash out my Instant Pot and put that in there with some of the chicken broth and a few other things, and make some soup. So I'm going to put the potato casserole in here, which has a lot of flavor to it. So that'll make some really tasty potato soup. I also have a little bit of onion left that I chopped up from the burgers. That's going to go in there. I have a little bit of corn that I took off the cob. That was the piece that we had grilled last night, and we didn't eat it, so I decided to just take the corn off and throw that in here along with this. Now I'm going to add a little bit of, a couple cups here of my homemade chicken stock. And that looks maybe just a little bit more. There we go. And kind of break everything up. I'm going to put this in the Instant Pot for probably 2 minutes. Nothing needs to really cook, so the onions will soften up in that time. And then I'll show you what I have when I'm done. My potato soup is done. As far as the Instant Pot, I am going to add a little bit of milk to it, whole milk to it, to make it a little bit more creamy, and then it should be done and ready to. We'll probably either have it for lunch tomorrow, or it'll be safe to go with dinner tomorrow night. And there's what I have left. I have a quart of chicken bone broth and then the chicken meat that I took off the bones, and that'll probably be turned into chicken gravy, and I'll serve that over rice in the next day or two. I hope you enjoyed coming along with me this afternoon while I utilized my food and used up my leftovers, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.